everyone, this is Jane, and this habit is all about laughter and how laughter improves your health physically and mentally, emotionally. It helps with your relationships. There are so many things that a good belly laugh or even a little giggle will do for your health. So let's just kind of start with some of these amazing benefits. First of all, think about how you feel when you get a nice, good laugh in. And you might just see a funny video, you might see something funny that your child did or your grandchild did, or someone did something that was kind of funny. It immediately not only makes you laugh, but it makes you feel better. Like you physically and emotionally feel better. When you laugh, your stress levels come down, and it actually releases endorphins that can help you feel better from pain. So think about people that are maybe sick or they're in the hospital or they're having pain. When they watch something funny, put on a funny movie, put on a funny, TV show or a radio show or some type of thing that you can listen to or watch that makes you laugh, you actually feel better because there's a physical release of endorphins that's happening that literally helps reduce pain. So there is a physical chemical reaction happening that makes you feel better when you laugh. So there's a reason that we want to try to add laughter into our daily life. In fact, it even stimulates your T cells, which are part of your immune function. So you can help your immune system be stronger by laughing. Try to find a way to laugh daily. So that to me is super, super important to stimulate your immune system, especially in these modern times that we're living in where there's so much stress happening. It's a really good idea to increase your immune system. It can also lower blood pressure. Think about that. Like if you have high blood pressure or you have blood pressure issues, you need to find a way to bring laughter into your life every single day. Now, not only that, it can actually help you lose weight and strengthen your abs. When you get laughing so hard at something, even someone else laughing at a joke can make you laugh because their laughter is so contagious. I know I've found myself in this situation many, 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 many times when I'm laughing so hard that literally my stomach hurts. And that is because your muscles are getting a workout and your circulation improves. There are so many things health-wise, physical-wise, that your body is affected by simply adding laughter into your day. So the emotional part too is it releases stress, which is always really, really good. And it can improve your relationship. So think about when you have a really stressful day or something stressful is happening in your relationship, say something with money or your child got in trouble at school or whatever that might be. And then you find a way to put humor into it. It can immediately reduce the stress and give you another point of view when you are in a really kind of tense situation. And I'm not saying to use humor to make fun of somebody. There's a time and a place for that bit of humor that we all need to find. And there are times when you shouldn't be laughing. If somebody falls and they get hurt, then that's not a time to laugh. Even maybe it was funny initially when they fell, or it's not a good thing to laugh at them if they're hurting. So use your humor in the right situations. But here's a few things that you can do, because you might think, well, you know what? I'm not funny. I don't know how to just make myself laugh. I don't know how to do that. So there's some steps that you can take to make your laugh meter go up every day. And here's something that I'm just going to kind of put out there at the front. I don't know if you've ever heard of laughter yoga, where you actually go to a class and the goal is to laugh. Can you imagine how you would feel when you finish a class where the purpose was not only to do yoga and get physically strong from the movements, but to provide laughter and joy and just kind of pure bliss in a situation like that? So there are actually laughter classes that you can take that are yoga based. So I would suggest that if you're a person that maybe needs to move up your meter on the laughter, and that would be kind of something fun and maybe a little bit risky maybe, because I don't know. I love yoga, but I'm a pretty serious yoga person when I'm stretching. So that might be even something to get out of your comfort zone and learn to do. So I have a little list of ways that you can start to increase your laughter and your sense of humor during the day. So the first thing that I would say, especially if you're a person who's like, oh, I'm not funny and I don't know how to be funny, well, the first thing to do is to start smiling at people. Just bring on a smile. And instead of looking at your phone when you're in a place with other people, or you're walking by someone on the street or in a hallway, put your phone away, look at the person and smile. You don't even have to say anything. You could say hello if you wanted to, or have a great day, but I would suggest that you just try this one simple thing. Start smiling at people. And I think that the place where we are in the world, this is a really extra good time to smile and engage with people, where you're not only putting out a smile, but you're flowing good energy, and you're causing a raise in consciousness to humanity, and you're rippling out simple connection and human joy. Because when you smile, you are basically saying, I see you and I'm happy to see you, even if it's a stranger you're passing in the street. So try that. And that might even be a stretch past your comfort zone, but that is a great place to start. The second one I have down here is to count your blessings. So that alone should give you a sense of happiness, because we all have blessings. We all have different levels of blessings, but we all have blessings. And we've been hearing the gratitude mantra for years and years, and it's time to literally put that into place and write down where your blessings come from and the little things that we sometimes forget. So count your blessings. We all have plenty of them. Here's a really cool one. When you hear laughter, move toward it. So think about how laughter is like a magnet. If you hear other people laughing, you want to know what are they laughing at, and that, because it draws you to it, because you know it's going to make you feel good. So when you hear someone laughing or you hear laughter, head toward that spot, because you know it's going to make you feel better. Spend time with people who are positive and humorous and know how to laugh. I have a group of friends that I can just totally laugh with the whole time. And I will tell you, they're my favorite group of friends. And over the years that I have been on this planet, I have really gravitated away from people who make me feel bad, because they're always talking about negative things. They're always talking about what's going on the news. They're always talking about what their health problems are. And if you're like a normal human, being around people like that actually makes you feel bad. So I'm not saying to ditch your family. I'm not saying to completely ditch your friends, but spend less time with those people who are super negative, because it is bad for your health. It is not good to rotate in those lower energies. And I'm not saying those things that you need to put your head in the sand and pretend aren't happening. I'm saying that there's always a way to put a positive spin on whatever's happening in the world. And this is another good way to remind ourselves to disconnect from mainstream media and mainly news, because there's nothing happy happening there. And we might need to keep ourselves informed, but then disconnect. Don't spend hours and hours and hours, because then you get this feeling of hopelessness, helplessness, and the last thing that you feel like doing is something like laughter, which is going to make you feel better, and it's going to make your health more. In fact, think about people who are funny and they find the humor in everything. They tend to have lots and lots of years of very healthy longevity, because they see the good in everything and they find a way to laugh every day. I really, truly love that. And here's another one. Find a way to bring humor into the conversation. Whenever you're with people, you be that person who can find a way to say, oh, check this out. This happened to me today. And you might be one of those people who actually brings up all the negative stuff that happens to you. I got cut off in traffic. This person cut me off in line at the grocery store. This person did this, and I saw this lady do, whatever that is. You might be that person, or you might know people who do that. So swap that around to be a person who maybe finds a little bit of self-deprecating humor in maybe something that happened to you. Find a way to put a humorous, positive spin on something that might make other people smile, and find humor in that. And to me, that's a really nice reminder that we can always live in a glass is half full kind of mentality. because there's always a positive spin to put on everything. I really, really love that because we can swap the mood and swap our health by doing some of these things right away. So there's ways that you can actually develop your sense of humor. So the very first thing that I talked about, right, that goes with this is that you laugh at yourself. And we all do funny things. We all take ourselves so seriously. And nobody likes to, say, oh, this is what I did look what I did. It was so bad. It was so funny. But maybe we need to swap that and make it so that it is something that we can share, and it can actually not only help ourselves feel better, but it can help other people feel better as well. Surround yourself with reminders to lighten up. I have a friend who's got these great posters in her office that are all super funny. And she changes them out, and she's had them for years and years and years, and she updates them and upgrades them and swaps ones out. But she is one of the happiest people I know because she has these little reminders. In fact, she's the person who will literally show me funny cat videos. I mean, think about how you feel when you watch a funny cat video. You laugh and it makes you feel good and you want to keep watching funny cat videos. So surround yourself with these things that remind you to laugh. In fact, take yourself to the bookstore or go online and buy a book of jokes, knock jokes, and grab your nearest child, grandkid, neighborhood kid and say, hey, I've got some great knock jokes. Because think about little kids. They do not worry about all the things that adults worry about. So they do have that going for them for sure, but they find joy and laughter in everything. And I've got some very young nieces and I've got some grandkids, and they are so full of joy over the littlest things. It's laughing constantly. And we need to kind of bring ourselves back to that type of living and playing and finding the humor and joy in everything. So dealing with stress, I want to bring this right to the end here, because to me, we are living in a very, very stressful time in human history. And this is one of the best times that we individually can help raise the vibration of the planet. So I have spent my fair share this past year and a half. We are in the middle of 2020. We're actually at the end of July. So we're a little past the middle of July, or past 2021. And I feel that I've done my share of angst, and I've done my share of feeling hopeless. Like, what can I do? How can I help people be out of so much stress and anger and fear? I feel like this one little helpless person. And then the last few months have started to realize that every single person who puts joy out, gratitude, and unconditional love to everyone they meet and every single situation is going to raise the vibration of the planet. Like, when we do that, one person can literally send out huge ripples of joy and love and gratitude. And it will come back to you, but it ripples out. And think about when you are in the presence of a person who's really positive and is just vibrating in love. They're not trying to convince anybody of anything. They're not fighting about political views. They're not fighting about what's going on in the state of the world. We're still allowed to have all of our opinions about all of those things. But when you stop trying to convince someone that your position is right, and instead you flow unconditional love at them and joy, find a good joke, share something with someone that you disagree with. And this is going to change the vibration of the planet in a way that I don't even think you realize could happen. And my belief is that we as modern humans in this amazing time to be alive is what we're here for. I believe we all chose to come to this planet at this particular time in human history to bring joy and laughter and gratitude and immeasurable health for all of humanity, because that is our birthright. It's our birthright to be happy, healthy, full of joy, full of humor. That's how we're designed. And it raises all levels of health in our body, in our mind, everything when we're able to do that. So I hope that you find a way to bring daily laughter, even if it's just a little giggle, into your daily life. I mean, I would love to hear some of your best tips, some of your best tricks. Drop me a joke, give me your best joke in the comments. I'd love to hear what they are. I hope you have a beautiful day. Feel it with tons of laughter. Know that I love you and I am sending out so much unconditional love your way that I hope you get a big push of that when you watch this. Have a beautiful day and we'll see you in the next one.